Welcome to Ask Ms. ERP. The topic of this video is how to manage ERP environments. Hello everyone, Ms. ERP here. A key success factor for either an implementation or ongoing sustainment of your ERP system is how well you manage your environments. Just so we are clear on what I am talking about here, by environments, I mean the different instances you may have of your ERP system. It is guaranteed that you have at least one, which is your production environment, which is the live instance that your end users are accessing to do their jobs, which needs to be protected to the best of your ability to avoid any service interruption. A lot of what I will talk about here can be covered in a standard ITIL course, but there are a few nuances to ERP systems that I will highlight for you. Particularly if you are a public company impacted by SOX controls such as audits on changes, you really do need to be thoughtful in managing your ERP environments. Along with your production instance, you should have at least one test environment, which I will call test because that is what you're supposed to be doing in there. This extra environment may be called sandbox or non-prod or a number of other names, but for discussion purposes, I will continue to call it the test environment.
3, 2, 1.
Depending on what you are up to, you may need other non-production environments for specific purposes, perhaps just for a limited period of time. For example, you may need a development environment, where your developers can do their thing without impacting other testing. And if you do have many integrations in and out of your ERP, you may want to have an environment specifically for integrated system testing. This environment needs to be connected to the integrated systems test environments to be useful. And those other systems test data needs to be kept in sync with the ERP also. Depending on how complicated your ERP world is, you may want a just before moving to production sign-off environment for final testing, which I will call quality assurance. And perhaps you need a relatively static environment in which to do training. If you have projects underway, they may need a spot to do their configuration and testing without impacting the existing production change lifecycle environments. They will need to get into the mainstream change lifecycle environments at some point in time, which needs to be managed carefully. I have provided a rather complicated diagram of all potential environments you might want to consider having, but as mentioned earlier, I would recommend at a minimum that you have at least one test environment, which would simplify your diagram considerably. Any changes, whether they are a small configuration change or a large project change, need to be controlled as to when and how they move to production. The key components of this process can be found in the standard ITIL change management process, which includes an impact analysis, business sign-off of testing, and approval to move to production, a backout plan, and scheduling the change for when it will have the least impact. In this case, I am referring to technical change management or change control, not the bigger topic of organizational change management, which focuses more on the people impact of a change with communication and training. Also important, but I will discuss that in the next video. Of course, the bigger the change, the more rigor needs to be applied. If it is a sizable project or even a new implementation, I would recommend using an automated testing tool if you can, to ensure well-documented tracking of testing activities. Investing in such a tool during an implementation can save oodles of time during the project, and if you maintain the testing scripts, you can get value from such a tool forever, for any self-initiated changes or vendor product updates. At a bare minimum, you should document your critical business processes and the steps needed to recreate them in test so that you can be confident that implementing any change will not stop your business in production. In order to provide a good environment in which to accomplish all of this testing, you need to ensure that you are maintaining your non-production environments to be as close as possible to production. Otherwise, your testing activities will be hampered by messy data or configurations that someone has been playing with. The best way to do this is to schedule regular non-production environment refreshes, or clones. This means copying down your production environment to your other environments on a regular basis. If you are on-premise, you may only be able to copy the data down. If you are in the cloud, it is likely that your cloud ERP service provider will do this for you, providing you request these refreshes in advance. In fact, it is likely that you may have to book them long in advance. And make sure that anyone doing anything in your non-production environment knows exactly when a refresh is coming, as they will need to back up their work or be prepared to redo it once the copy from prod wipes out their changes in the non-prod environment. In my experience, folks need to lose something at least once to get with the program and pay attention as to when refreshes are scheduled to occur. As a follow-up to this topic, in the next video, I will discuss how best to manage changes, with a focus on vendor-driven updates. This concludes the How to Manage ERP Environments topic. There is a link on askmizerp.com to email me to ask questions or suggest topics for future videos, or you can just add comments on any YouTube video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and see you on the next video.